with me today. It's literally just going to be a very normal day in my life as a teacher today. Second impressions were really good this week. So I just think it's a really good group of students. When I first heard that premise, I was like, yeah, that tracks. I buy it. Hello and welcome to a new vlog. Welcome if you're new here. Hi, I'm Andrea. Welcome back if you're one of my lovely returning friends. It's great to have you all here. Welcome to Tuesday. It's a Tuesday. It's a teaching day. I don't normally vlog on teaching days, but it's also the launch day for Katabasis by R.F. Kuang, and I really want to get my hands on a copy. I normally am not a rush out to the bookstore on the first day a book is available kind of person. I'm usually quite the opposite. I will wait until a book has been out for a while before I finally get it. But I have a lot of good friends who are going to be reading this book this week. They will probably be done with it by this weekend. And I know they wouldn't intentionally spoil something, but I also don't want to be listening to them either raving about it or commenting on it or just anything even vaguely until I've read it as well. So I'm gonna go try and get a copy after work. I'm not far from Changing Hands bookstore. It's not far from campus. So that's the rough plan. I've got to get down to campus for office hours and then teaching, and then we'll go to the bookstore. So I'm gonna take you all along with me for that and just kind of like a cozy, casual day in my life. I'm still struggling. I won't lie. Like I can't sugarcoat that. Between the launch, the start of the semester, the first day of classes last week, frantically trying to get my promotion file put together and writing my personal statement and stuff. There's just been a lot going on over the last like 3 weeks. It's the 26th. So yeah, like I uploaded the book on Wednesday, August 6th. So for the last three-ish, a little bit more than 3 weeks, it's just been full on with book launch, start of the semester, getting, final prep for teaching, working on my promotion file, like all these things. And my brain is just, it's done. My brain is done. I literally can't cope. I have no coping left. No coping, no ability to cope. My ability to cope has left the building and I don't know when it's going to come back. So I'm not really doing any writing at the moment. Vlogging, working on my promotion file is not that gripping. So I'm struggling with knowing what to film for YouTube. Like now that I'm through the launch day vlog and the first week of classes vlog, I thought I would be shifting back to like writing vlogs and book stuff and things like that. And I don't know that that's going to happen until my promotion file is done, if I'm being perfectly honest. So for the next week or so, because it's 2 weeks, just under 2 weeks before my promotion file is due. So what I film this week and next week, and what you're watching this week and next week, it's probably just going to be a random hodgepodge of whatever I feel like filming, and then we can get back to like normal content. But yeah, I think they might also be a little bit shorter. I'm aiming for like a 30-minute vlog for today. We'll see how I do with that. Every time I aim for a shorter vlog, it still ends up being at least 45 minutes. But energy to vlog and time to edit are two things that I am kind of in short supply of at the moment, because the promotion file is taking up a lot of time working, but also thinking time. It's just, I can't stop thinking about it. It just feels like there's a lot of pressure to get that done, get it done on time, and get it done right. So September 8th is not the final deadline, but it's a near final deadline. Like it can't be a messy, rough draft. It needs to be the best that I can possibly do kind of draft. I have been staring at this forever and I can't think of anything else to change kind of draft, but it will then be reviewed by someone in my department. I'll have a quick Zoom meeting with them. they'll make any suggestions they have, and then I will have until near the end of September to make those changes. So I don't know how quickly I'm going to get my feedback, so I might only have a few days to make those changes, but I will have an opportunity to fix things if something has gone catastrophically wrong. I'm just hoping that nothing does go catastrophically wrong, and that Zoom meeting is like minor clerical stuff I need to address. So yeah, this has been consuming my mind pretty much ever since the book launch. So it is making it a little bit difficult to think about vlogs and writing, and yeah, I want to be writing. I really wanted to get back into a normal writing schedule starting this week. Did I do any writing yesterday? No. Did I do any writing this morning? It's not technically a writing day, Tuesdays. I've blocked out Tuesdays and Thursdays as non-writing days, but I could have done some writing today. Tuesday mornings are going to be, like if I wake up at 5, I'll have 4 hours to myself in the morning. So I might be able to squeeze in an extra writing day on a Tuesday or Thursday, but I did not today because I was doing vlog editing today to finish up the vlog for tomorrow, which will be the last vlog that you saw last Wednesday. So yeah, I'm still adjusting, and it's just hard to adjust while I still have this promotion file. And so this is something I'll probably address more in the next writing vlog, but like this is one of those times where I do struggle to write and to work a full-time job. Like it's not always easy. I feel like I worry sometimes that I make it look a little too easy. It is not always that easy. Most of the time when I'm on my normal schedule and I'm in my normal routine and I know these are my teaching days, these are my work from home days, this is the volume of work I have, this is when these assignments are due, like I can be very strategic about it and know that most weeks I can write for this much time on these days, and then during weeks where a big assignment is due and I'm going to have a higher volume of grading, then the time I can write might be a little bit reduced. But then I can also strategically vlog to focus on when I am writing a lot, because that's more interesting to watch, like hearing the writing updates. It's a lot less interesting if you tune in for a vlog and it's like, well, I wanted to write today, but I ended up spending more time grading than I thought. Like that's just not good YouTube, right? It's not good for the algorithm. Like that's just not entertaining. So I don't vlog as much of those days, but I try to like let you know in the better days of writing that like earlier in the week or something I maybe didn't do as much. And because of my flexible schedule, there are just weeks where I can write a little more, weeks where I write a little less, and so it averages out to be what is now my normal amount. I can kind of average 1,000 words a day, 4 to 5 days a week, and that's enough to write a book. It's why I don't write more books in a year, but it is enough to write and publish at least one book a year. But there are absolutely times, and like this is more than just a busier than usual week. This is like a busier than usual few weeks. At the end, like just coming off a book launch, my brain is just so, my brain and my body, I'm physically, mentally, emotionally, creatively burned out. So I'm trying to just let myself ease into the schedule. I'm doing the things that I absolutely have to do. Sometimes the writing just takes a back seat. Or sometimes even YouTube has to take a back seat. There are just weeks where full-time job stuff or personal life stuff, health stuff, whatever, just comes up and I'm just not able to write. So anyway, that is a very long and rambly intro. That's longer than I intended it to be. I need to get on the road. It's a little earlier than I would normally leave, but I need to go to Costco really quick and get gas. And then I think I might swing by Press because I've got to pass it to get back to the highway. I might swing by Press if the line at Costco isn't too long, and if I have time, I'll stop and get myself an iced latte, and then I will get to campus for my first day. We're still early enough that I'm still experiencing firsts for the semester. So today will be my first day in office hours in my office on campus, and I'm hoping to see a couple of my colleagues and friends in the office today, but I also still need to do my lesson plan for today. I could wing it. Like, I've taught this class a million times. I've taught this style, this session, the condensed session. I've taught this a few times. So like I know what I'm doing. I can do this without a lesson plan, but I should have plenty of time in my office to jot down at least a skeleton of like what I need to do today. So yeah, come with me to campus. Come with me hopefully to the bookstore afterwards. We did get a really amazing monsoon storm last night, and it might happen again tonight, so I will be keeping an eye on the weather. Come with me today. It's literally just going to be a very normal day in my life as a teacher today, which might be very, very boring, or it might be entertaining. So you can watch and let me know what you think. Okay, class 2 done. It went really well. First impressions have been verified. First impressions were good last week. Second impressions were really good this week. So I just think it's a really good group of students. I gave them, because it's such a long class, what I normally do when I teach this format is I give them the last like 30 to 50 minutes, depending on the day, for in-class workshop time, which means there's time for me to kind of work with them one-on-one. They can bring their laptops up to the front desk and we can look at stuff. I can give them feedback in class, which is really, really helpful. So it is one of the benefits of teaching this particular class and like format. They did great. They actually seemed to be working during that time. I did walk around a little bit. I don't like patrolling the classroom. That's not really my style, but I did walk around a little bit and like they were working. So that was really, really nice to see. Office hours were good. I did have two of my online students came to office hours, which was fantastic. I was so excited. One of them was a former student, so it was like great to catch up with her in person and like see her in person. But she's also an honors student, so she was asking me about honors projects. And then the other student who came was also an honors student, and so she wanted to go over her project and get my feedback on her idea. And so I was able to sign off on that and tell her to like go ahead and get it started, get the contract started with the honors college so that I can sign off on it. So yeah, I had 2 students come to office hours. It was amazing. But I also got to chat with some of my office mates, some of my colleagues and friends who were in the office at the same time, so we were talking about stuff. So yeah, good office hours, great class, good time teaching. I'm exhausted. I do want to go home, but I am going to go to changing hands. So it's only 4:38. It's not that late. I can get to changing hands by 5, and if they do have a copy of Katabasis, I will pick that up and then probably just get dinner at Wildflower and kind of try to miss some of the traffic. I'm just too impatient. I really want to get a copy of this book. I did look it up on Changing Hands' website as I was walking back to my car. It is showing that as of 12:30 this afternoon, it's on their shelves. So I'm hoping, I'm sure their copies will sell out eventually. I don't feel like it's so big of a release that it's going to sell out in one afternoon. Also, like, this is going to be a bit late by the time you watch this vlog, but the weather is holding out. So earlier I mentioned that we had a storm yesterday. Those of you who DM'd me, I need to like maybe reply to the, like, ask this in the DM, but for those of you who've contacted me asking if I'm okay, how did you know that we had a storm? I've had more than one person DM me today just saying, hey, I hope you're okay after the sandstorm. Did we make the news again for our weird weather? I feel like you all hear the weirdest things about Phoenix based on our weather. Like, it's either how ridiculously hot it is, or it's our very freaky looking dust storms. As Avi in her DM said, it looked like the fold in Shadow and Bone. She's not wrong. That is a pretty good visual. I had the same thought when I watched Shadow and Bone. I'm like, oh, it's a different color, but that totally looks like one of our dust storms. So yeah, the storm that I referenced earlier, I think, that we had last night was a huge dust storm. They usually roll in from the south, and so they hit the south part of Phoenix first, and by the time they get up to my neighborhood, it doesn't look quite as menacing. It's just really brown. The air just turns brown. The sky is brown. There's like a brown haze when I'm looking out the window. Just everything is brown because there's so much dust in the air. That's a bit annoying. And if you're outside in it, they can be dangerous. If you're outside, if you're driving, the visibility can go down to nothing in like seconds. I have been caught out in my car in a dust storm. Thankfully not a really bad one, but they are legitimately scary if you're out. I was home. I was at home. I was watching TV. I was perfectly safe. So I just started noticing that it was getting really, really windy, and then it was suddenly much darker than it should have been for that time of afternoon. Like, it was nearing sunset, but it normally is still really bright at that time. So it was getting really windy and really dark, and then everything I just could see, the light had a brownish tinge to it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, is it a dust storm? And I got out and looked out the window, and sure enough it was. I didn't get any video or photos of it, but yeah, it was pretty wild. I would not, and it was so windy. I would not have wanted to be out in it, but I wasn't. I was home, I was safe, but I've been giggling a little bit that apparently it's made national and international news somehow, because people from outside of the state of Arizona have been messaging me today about this weather. So far, there's a few clouds in the sky, but no storms. So the chance of rain we were supposed to have tonight seems to have gone away. So I'm gonna take the sunshade down. I'm on the roof again. This happened last week. I really hope it's just still like first week jitters and like everyone's being really eager, and in the next couple weeks people will like stop coming to class every now and then. I don't like parking on the roof. I swear those stairs are out to get me. Thankfully, it's only 100 degrees outside right now. So it's not as hot as it could be. I do have the air conditioning going, so apologies for the noise, but it is feeling more comfortable in here. So yeah, there's your update. Now let's get to changing hands, and fingers crossed I can get my hands on a copy of Katabasis. I saw a friend of mine, my friend Christy, who's in England, she's in England right now, she lives in Scotland, but she posted a picture of a book display. It looks like the UK has a different cover, which usually happens, but yeah, I know a friend of mine, at least one friend of mine has already bought their copy, so I want to go get my copy, so I'm hoping I can get it at Changing Hands and that I won't have to like go to Barnes & Noble or something tomorrow, because I would really like to get this book and start reading it tonight. Which is saying a lot, because I haven't felt like reading for the last several days. So yeah, let's get to Changing Hands and see if we can get a copy of Katabasis. have to put up a picture from the beginning of this vlog of my hair so you can see just how much the curls have dropped. They've just completely fallen out. It was quite humid today. It wasn't as hot, but it was very, very humid compared to what we're used to. And yeah, those curls are just gone. They were gone before I even made it to the classroom. I noticed it when I was in my office. I'm like, wait a second, what happened? Anyway, I'm home now. It's been an absolutely lovely evening. I am so tired. Like, I could never do this regularly. It's 6:30. Like, I still need to take a shower and get cleaned up. I just feel gross from walking around campus in the heat today. The heat and the humidity. It was like extra gross today. So like, I need to get freshened up and get cozy, and I'm only gonna have like an hour to watch YouTube and watch TV before I need to go to bed. But it was so much fun. So I did get a copy and I love it. Like, this cover, can we just, the like green with the rose gold copper foil is just amazing. Same thing on the spine, and the inside pages, both front and back, the inside cover underneath the dust jacket is, it's more of an orange. It looks like it's not actually, it's not the same metallic foil, but it's like glossy orange. And then the inside back cover sketches, and then the end pages, if it'll focus on them, these end pages are just, I mean, just amazing. And they go all the way around all of the pages. Like, I still haven't like fully analyzed and like okay, this is funny. This was already a line in the book. Hell is other people. I mean, it's not entirely wrong. This is what I'm noticing about this book. So over dinner, I'm 20 pages in. I've read 20 pages. I'm already loving it. Now, the first 20 pages could be deceptive. We'll have to see. But I'm loving the tone. I'm loving the tone. It's very different from Babel. I feel like this is another book where it's going to be the question of, but how do you pronounce it? Because I feel like with Babel, it's Babel or Babel. I've heard both, and I've heard it called Babel in interviews, and she's not corrected it. So I'm now assuming Babel is how that book title is pronounced. I've heard Katabasis. I've heard Katabasis. I think I've been saying Katabasis throughout this vlog. So it's another R.F. Kuang book where I don't know exactly how to pronounce the title. This will be the third R.F. Kuang book I've read. I read Babel at the beginning of the year. Loved it. It is still definitely top 3 books I've read this year. It might even still be number 1. I mean, I said that back in January, that like, I think the video was even titled something like, this might be the best book I read all year. Like, it was just so strong. I knew I loved that book. And then much more recently, just like a week or so ago, I read Yellowface, which was very different from Babel. Very different. But I loved that too. So I kind of feel like, I think this one's going to lean a little bit closer in terms of subject matter to Babel, but will lean closer to Yellowface, and it just feels like it's got a more modern tone. It is set in an alternate version of Cambridge, so our world, but an alternate version where there's magic in it. But it seems like it, from what I can tell, it's set like right now in our time, whereas Babel was set in an alternate version of Oxford in the Victorian era. And so Babel just had more of a like history book feel to the tone. Like, there were times where I felt like I was reading a history book or like an older book. This feels, the language feels a lot more contemporary and a little bit more casual and informal. There's humor. Like in the first chapter, I'm already picking up. There's a lot of humor. The thing I will be interested to see from other people who read it is I don't, like, already the things that I'm laughing at, I don't know if someone who's not been to grad school would laugh at those moments. So I feel like some of the humor might fly under the radar for some readers. The whole premise of this book, if you're not familiar, is a PhD student in the topic of analytical magic, so alternate fantasy version of our world, at Cambridge. Her advisor dies and gets sent to hell, and she has to go to hell to find him, and I'm assuming bring him back so that she can finish her PhD. And if that is not the most real depiction of commitment grad students have, when I first heard that premise, I was like, yeah, that tracks. I buy it. So there have been lots of little things already in terms of perspective on being a grad student, perspective on like being in academia, that it's like, it's dark humor, but if you've been in grad school, like, I'm finding it hilarious. It's a little bit of laugh so I don't cry, but yeah, I'm loving it so far. I'm still very, very early, so first impressions could change, but first impressions are really high. I am making myself read this one slowly, and I did the same with Babel, because I feel like my normal reading speed is pretty fast, but I am sometimes skimming certain sections. I want to like read every word on every page, and there have been some sentences where I've already like read them twice, not because I need to, but because it's just so brilliant I want to read it again. So I'm really hoping that that keeps up through the rest of the book. I'm excited. I'm excited to have something new to read. I'm excited to have something to read that I know friends of mine are also reading, and so I'll have people to talk about the book with, because a lot of times the books that I read, no one else has read them, and so then I read it and I enjoy it, but I can't talk about it. I don't have anyone to talk about it with. So I think that's another thing that's making me more excited to read this right now, because I know other friends are reading it right now, or will be very, very soon. So yeah, so it's been a lovely day. I've needed this. I don't want to get too much into that, but I have needed this. It was a good day on campus. It was, like I said, it was humid, but it wasn't terrible. Like, it wasn't as bad as it felt last week. Last week was just so hot, so it didn't feel as bad. So that made it a little bit nicer. It was nice being back in my office. I haven't been in my office since May. So I got to flip my calendar to August. I don't think I got a picture. Well, I did get a wide panning shot of my desk. But the August picture, the calendar is from Oxford. I bought it last spring. Thankfully, they already had the 2025 calendars out. So last spring, I got a 2025 Oxford calendar for my desk at work. So I got to flip that to August, and I really like the August picture. So yeah, and then the bookstore was great. I did walk around and look around a little bit, just visited all the books, looked at the journals. There were 2 journals I really loved that I resisted buying. I can't promise that resistance will hold out for the rest of the year, but I did manage to resist today. And then got my copy. Thankfully, they had several copies up front, and then they did have a few copies of Katabasis out in the back in the actual sci-fi fantasy section. So there were plenty of copies to go around. I went next door to Wildflower, and I got myself some dinner and started reading the book. It was really nice. I don't do that. I really don't I felt like I took myself out on a date today, and that was really nice, but I am definitely ready to go take a shower, wash all the makeup off, do skincare, all of that good stuff, change into something comfy and cozy, and then just crash on the couch for a little bit before I go to bed. So we're gonna wrap this vlog up here. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. I'd really appreciate both of those things. Say hi in the comments. Let me know if you're reading Katabasis, or if you've read Babel, if you've read Yellowface. I still haven't read the Poppy Wars. Everyone recommends that. I do think, especially if I end up falling in love with Katabasis, I will probably read the Poppy Wars probably early next year is when I'll dive into those. So let me know if you, what R.F. Kuang books you've read, if you've read any. I would love to know in the comments. Let me know. Our question of the vlog is, do you like reading books other people are reading so that you have someone to talk about it with? Or do you prefer reading books that no one's reading and then just kind of not have other people's opinions? Sometimes I want to be able to talk about books, but other times I'm kind of glad that I'm reading books that no one else is reading, because if I really love it, then I don't have to deal with people telling me they don't like it. So let me know your thoughts on that, like talking about books that you read and books that you love. And like, do you like having that discussion or not? I think that could be an interesting question. Or you can leave me some book emojis in the comments to let me know which of you lovely people have made it all the way to the end of this vlog. And on that thought, I'm gonna go now. I will see you all very soon in the next vlog, which I have no idea what that will be. So hopefully there'll be something coming on Wednesday, because this will be a Monday vlog. So hopefully there's a video coming on Wednesday. I hope it's interesting. No idea what it will be, so just come back on Wednesday and find out. So I will see you all then. Thank you very much for watching today. Bye.